So if I'll tell you another thing. One of my most favorite shots of trying to explain the psychology. In Booth, there is a scene. Now, Urmila wakes up and there's no water and a duplex apartment and the camera is on the ground and she comes down the stairs. It's a wide shot and she goes into the kitchen, opens the door, has some water, comes back, and as she again gets up the stairs, I cut to top angle, you know, and she's coming. Now she can see in front of her and the audience can see behind her.
Right.
So there's nobody there. So they feel almost like, first when she got up, because the film is called Booth, they will expect something to happen. Now what did I do? I have a wide lens where everything can be seen. Everything can. So their eyes will be darting this side, that side. No, nothing is there. They feel safe. Then Urmila is coming, so Urmila can see in the front, nothing in the back. They feel safe. Just when they think this is just a trick, there is nothing going to happen, she crosses the camera and we see the ghost down. In Eros theater, I saw the whole theater levitate with that shot. You know. So the point is, this is where the psychology comes in. If I'm going behind her with the camera, following her when she's going into the kitchen, because the audience's vision is limited, they can't see beyond. So they will expect something to come
Right.
into the. Suddenly, someone will jump into the frame and does something.
That's a typical horror.
Yeah, that's a typical horror thing. It always works also.
Right.
Whereas what I did, when a moment I took them, because I didn't want them to continuously feel the tension, so which they would have felt if the camera is going behind.
Right.
So I kind of did the trick and basically got them out of the thing that nothing is going to happen now. That is when it comes, they jump in. Yeah, this is one example of how you use psychology in horror.
Right. But switching gears, did you ever hear about a paranormal story or activity, or did you have any personal experiences of paranormal activity?
See, like when the people, like you also asked me now, when do I believe in the paranormal or supernatural? I will give an example. I mean, I was always, not believing. In fact, in my childhood, I used to challenge to go into the graveyard, that to prove that I am not scared, and these things also I used to do. But the three incidents which happened, which kind of changed my mind, not to push me towards the belief, but it's an interesting thing. One is Shamak Dawar is a choreographer. Okay. So I met him once in Amitabh Bachchan's house, only once. I've never worked with him. I'm not very familiar with him, I met him in the flight. So I was going to Chennai. He was on the same flight. So my seat was somewhere and he was sitting little in the back. And I went and sat next to him. So I, Shamak, and we started talking and the plane took off, and in midair, this is in daylight midair, he suddenly asked me, your father passed away? So this is a very unusual question to ask out of the blue, which is the truth. Actually, 15 days before that, my father died. So I said, yeah. And now he's in the window seat, I was in the aisle seat. And he looked like that for some time and said, he's here with us. Wow. So for me, I was completely taken aback, So then what? And he's a choreographer. See, I can understand a question like that from some guy who's with
Who
a beard.
does clairvoyance or something.
Yeah. So he said, yeah. And then I thought, and I said, Shamak, I don't believe in this stuff, Again, he looked there and said, he says he also never believed. My father also was an atheist, So, and he says that he's very concerned about you. And I was, see, for me, how does he know my father died? How does he know my father is an atheist? So I had a mixture of a helplessness, anger, fear. I was very disturbed with that conversation. I suddenly got up and I went off to my seat. And then I started thinking, how can you know? So the possibilities, So there's a 50-50. Either my father is dead or not. Either he's an atheist or not. So the odds are not so great that you cannot really, luck on it.
Right.
or I thought I'm a little bit famous person, and it is possible he's also from the film industry.
Right. You'd have read.
He might have overheard it and is playing this googly on me, something.
Hmm.
So finally, by the time we reached the destination, I decided that he was either lucky
Hmm.
or he somehow came to know.
Hmm.
So that is what I call a rational explanation.
Right.
Okay. Now the second is, there were, years back there was a sudden rumor that Ganpati was drinking milk.
About 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I came back from, and my nephew came running and said, "Uncle is drinking milk." I was scared. I didn't want to see that.
Hmm.
Because I was hearing about it on the phone and everything. The point is, if I say that I don't believe in that, and if you say come into this room, the room is too close.
Hmm. It came.
If you say that it happened there or there, I can take it light. But if you say it's in this room, if I step into the door, I might be seeing a miracle,
Hmm.
which I don't want to believe. It can happen.
Hmm.
Luckily for me, it didn't happen. But what I can't ignore is the fear I felt in anticipation of seeing it.
Hmm.
Okay. Third thing is, when in my home, my sister and my mom, all of them are there, some relative's son who's 4 years old. My mother told me he can write an answer for anything. Whatever you ask, he'll write an answer. He can't speak also.
Hmm.
Just to humor them, I asked this question: 398 into 487.
Hmm.
And he looked very normal. And his mother started goading. See, uncle is asking something, and then she put some book or something and gave him a pen. And he's behaving like a kid only. And he just wrote the answer.
Wow.
Wrote the answer. He didn't calculate anything. I was so scared to see that. And my mother and sister are okay because they believe that he has some power. See,
Right.
believers, the advantage for believers is
They're on the
they
other
will take
side.
it. Yeah, they will take
Exactly.
it for granted.
Right.
Oh, okay, he's got powers. Some
Right.
Kalki Murthy or somebody has given him that powers. Now, a friend of mine was this. How can that happen? He said maybe the mother is manipulating, for holding his elbow. Something he came. I said, buddy, it's a 3-digit multiple, triple digit multiple. I don't think anybody can do that. I mean, So, okay, over. Now, to sum up this whole thing, what if Shamak Dawar said something which only me and my father knows?
Right.
There I had a explanation, 50-50 chance he took, or maybe he came to know that he died or something.
Hmm.
If he told me this is what he said apparently to you on that day,
Hmm.
I would have been finished. I would have been in
It
Tirupati
would
and
shatter your.
Vaishno. Yeah. Okay. And second, what if the Ganpati drank milk in front of me? What if I'm talking
But
about?
of course, there was a scientific
Yeah.
explanation for that.
Okay, but the point is a capillary motion, all that we
Right.
heard. But I'm
Right.
saying that is not how it was described. It is not just a dip or something.
Right.
That is not how people told about their experiences. Now the third thing about this boy,
Hmm.
I went to Bombay later, and I was not able to believe. I was refusing to believe, though it happened in front of me. So I decided I must have dreamt.
Hmm. An illusion.
Yeah, I must have dreamt about it. I'm thinking it's real, I thought. Now, only person who can tell me it's not a dream is my mother
Right.
and my sister over there. I didn't ask them. For years, I didn't ask. I kept it with myself. And then one day I asked them, did something like this happen? And she said, yeah, of course. And apparently that kid, now he's, you only had that power for about a few months apparently.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now he's finished, he's done his engineering, and he's bad at maths, I believe. check this out.
I'm very sure.
Yeah. So the point is, to answer your question, unless I experience.
Right.
See, when you don't experience, you can't make a statement that I believe or I don't believe.
Right.
So to be honest, I experienced this. Fine, fair enough. What is it? Because that cannot be explained through logic or science.
Right. Right.
So it is a supernatural phenomenon as far as I am concerned.
Right.
You know, beyond this, maybe
Hmm.
little bit remnants of this I never experienced. So to say whether I am scared of ghosts, you ask the question. I think I take it as a natural entity if it is there.
Hmm.
If- you know, so there are so many things which can cause harm to me, out of
Hmm.
which a demon. I don't think a demon can do something special. A dog also can bite you, a car can kill you, or something can happen. Likewise, but if you look at it, most of the time we never hear about demons killing people. They
Right.
only scare you.
Right. Right.
They always narrate a scary incident,
Hmm.
not about death and things like that. Mostly,
It doesn't go
you
to
know,
that extreme.
yeah.